Gun Talk with LT, episode 52. This episode's brought to you by StackGwop.com. StackGwop.com/shop. Cop your newest SGE apparel. We got some new shit up there. Support the brand, StackGwop, StackGwop.com. All right, so first topic I'm getting into is Van Lathan. So basically, recently there hasn't been like an official report, or if there has been, I haven't seen it, but there's been growing rumors that Van Lathan has been fired from TMZ or is no longer working there, in whatever capacity of truth you want to go with, whether it be he's just not working there or, he got fired. The main story is he's no longer with TMZ, and I want to discuss that because basically Van Lathan, if nobody knows who Van Lathan is, he's the guy that had the moment with Kanye West, and that big famous moment where Kanye was like, slavery was a choice, and then there was that black dude that stood up and voiced the opinion for pretty much he was basically saying everything that everybody that was watching it wanted to say to Kanye, and he pretty much voiced his opinion, and he pretty much had his moment from there. So that was his like claim to fame. If you don't know who Van Lathan is, other than every other shit he's done in his life, Van Lathan, he has the Red Pill podcast. I fucks with that podcast. I listen to Van Lathan. But this is an issue now because Van Lathan he's no longer with TMZ and no longer uploading to his podcast, because I believe that his podcast was hosted in some sort of TMZ studio with like TMZ staff and engineers and shit. And that goes into my first point of independence and building your own shit, because those are problems you don't have to have. Because, yeah, he had his own brand. He has his Red Pill podcast that's not TMZ. But if it's recorded out of TMZ studio, you have your setup there, you have everything going there, then it's like, if that job, I know he worked there for 8 or 9 years, so it's like a period of time he's worked there. There's a certain amount of job comfort that you have, and he's been able to voice his opinion on air without any type of censorship. So I feel like he was very comfortable in the job. I don't know why he was let go, fired, released, why he quit. I don't know why he's no longer there, but his podcast is no longer up, and that's my biggest gripe, because if he had done it independent, he's moved somewhere else, or he had his own studio or whatever, the podcast wouldn't be suffering, and he'd still be able to grow his brand and do his own shit independently. So, and I'm seeing it with like other podcasts too, like Brilliant Idiots not having a consistent studio to record, and they've done their show for like 5-6 years, and they have no actual setup for for me, I look at that and I'm like, there's a problem. If you're gonna have a podcast, especially of that type of magnitude, like Brilliant Idiots does numbers, the Red Pill does numbers. I'm not sure how much numbers it does in comparison to a larger podcast like the Brilliant Idiots or the Joe Budden podcast, but it does numbers. It has when you have sponsors, you have to do some sort of numbers to get sponsors. Like for me, I got sponsors, but my numbers weren't substantial like that. But my sponsors were like, on a lesser, not to the same level. It hopefully will get there soon, but that's what you got to keep grinding. Point is, when you have a show of that magnitude, you need to build the infrastructures to maintain your show. You can't be renting space. There's too much studios, spaces being like, I get it if you're renting it and you have your own your setup and you have a consistent schedule, and like for me that's not optimal for me. That's not ideal. That's not what I would want to do. But if that's the case and that's what you have set up, and then you're still in the green every month because you're making that type of money, then whatever, do you. But for the most part, I would rather see more podcasts basically have what like a Joe Rogan has. Joe Rogan's a different level. He clearly has a lot more money than most people. He has his infrastructure. He has his own podcast studio. He has his own shit set up, so he doesn't have to deal with that shit. Even like Bobby Lee and these other comedians, they have shit in their crib. Like, regardless of what you have, you should own your studio space. And that's the reason why I started Stack Gwop Entertainment, because it's like I was tired of paying for goods and services of anything related to hip hop or media production. So I got all my own infrastructure, and I own my own space. So whenever I need the podcast, I can just run to the podcast, do my own thing. I'm not reliant on other sources, and I feel like that's very important. Yes, I'm not at the level as most of these other guys, the other podcasts that I listen to, like that, the No Jumper. See, that's a good example. No Jumper. No Jumper, Adam 22, he has his podcast studio in his clothing store. So he's, making his money doing the store, whatever, and then he has his podcast. So he has his own, like, the key is to build infrastructure. And yeah, man, get this shit going. Get some longevity under your shit. Have the comfortability of your own zone, your own studio space. Set your own hours. That type of freedom when it comes to podcasting, because I feel like if you're podcasting, there should be a certain level of freedom to do what the fuck you want to do, and that's why I'm more against renting and paying for studio service for a podcast, because it's like you don't have that freedom. You have time slots. You gotta, it creates a certain focus of, okay, I gotta be here at this time and knock it out from this hour to this hour because I'm paying for this shit. Yeah, it creates that type of focus, but it doesn't create that type of comfort to actually expand and do everything that you want to do on a podcast. Yeah, so I don't know. My main concern is the show. I hope he gets that show up and running. I know pretty soon he'll get shit figured out, and that shit ain't gonna last forever when it comes to the show being down. I've seen other podcasts like go away for months, month and a half, 2 months, still come back. So I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be the biggest issue for Van Lathan. All right, so what are we gonna talk about next? Okay, a good way to good way to transition. Drawing blanks from Van Lathan. We're gonna get into Kanye West. Kanye West dropped a new album. I know I don't talk about Kanye West in the podcast. Not a big fan. Dropped a new album, gospel album. It's projected to do pretty much like 300,000 first week on a gospel album, so the numbers are good. From what I'm hearing from the reviews, the album isn't quite good. They say the production's pretty decent, but the Kanye value of his vocals aren't the greatest, and it's not the best received Kanye album. It's pretty much the worst received Kanye album from the reviews coming out right now. But I haven't listened to the album, nor do I plan on listening to the album, because I'm not a Kanye fan, and that's just what it is. I feel like if you say you're not a fan or you don't fucks with somebody, but you're constantly listening to their shit, then you kind of fucks with them in some sort of capacity, whether you're a hater or not. But I don't know. Not a big fan. I don't really like collaborative writing when it comes to rap. Not a big fan of that. I don't know, man. He claims to have gotten $60-some-odd million back in taxes after doing this whole church thing. So I don't know why he's pointing that out and he's talking about that and receiving that type of shit, because that's pretty much asking to be audited, because that sounds like very high for a tax return. But he talked about making 110 plus million the year before and ending up $30 million in debt from taxes. So I don't know. That shit sounds fucked up too. So maybe some balancing out has been going on with the government and the taxes. And man, I don't know shit about California state taxes and what the fuck. I don't know. So when I read articles like that, I can't really comment because I don't fucking know. I have no idea. Sometimes it's okay to not know. You know what I mean? You can't come up here and fucking act like an authority on every topic, like you know everything. You know what I mean? Not everybody knows everything. Doesn't matter how smart you are. Nobody knows everything. All right. So wow, great way to fucking transition to this guy. Motherfucking Trump kills ISIS leader Baghdadi, then shits on his fucking grave, shits on his whole life, says he was running and whimpering and all sorts of disrespectful shit. When you hear somebody talk that type of disrespectful shit to your leader as a terrorist organization, them terrorists, man, he's like the same way Al-Qaeda leader started up a new thing, ISIS, what was before that? Man, there's a whole fucking bunch of, whenever a fucking terrorist organization gets, whenever their leader gets killed, taken out, and the nation shits on their fucking legacy or whatever. They don't really have to shit on their legacy. They're still going to start an uprising anyway. So it's not really such a big deal that he shot on his legacy. But nonetheless, you could see a new revolution starting because of this shit. They're not going to take this shit so easy. These terrorists are going to start up a new fucking group. They're not going to just, like, I don't know, man. There's never really going to, like, I don't want to say shit like there's not going to be peace in the Middle East and there's not going to be terrorism and shit like that. But, man, this shit is, it's been our whole lifetime. It's been war my whole lifetime, my mother's lifetime, like forever. So it's like generational. It's been war in the Middle East. It's not stopping. Jesus Christ, I need a fucking beverage. I just find it funny that Trump is just so not presidential. It's kind of like a troll on Xbox Live. That's the way he talks. So it's fucking hilarious when you hear shit. People could say what they want about Trump, agree with Trump, disagree with Trump, hate Trump, call him a racist, a bigot, whatever. You have to admit the shit is fucking funny. But then again, it's like I'm sitting here in fucking Toronto. I'm in Canada. So shit's funnier to, maybe it's not as funny when it's your fucking leader and you're in the States and shit, and you got to take this shit seriously because you worry about your fucking freedom and liberties and all that bullshit. All right. So I'm not going to really cover LeBron's hair issue too much. There's been pictures and shit that came out with LeBron's hair and Anthony Davis telling him, yo, bro, your hair, da-da-da-da-da, all that shit. So not going to get into that too heavy. I don't really have the pictures right now. I could get the pictures. But, okay, let's cover this shit. I got the pictures. What is there to say? He's battling it. When you think about it, LeBron had, like, hair issues from, like, his pretty much Cleveland days? From his last year in Cleveland, his hairline was looking fucked up, and people were talking shit about his fucking hairline. That's something LeBron has dealt with for a long time, and I don't think LeBron gives a fuck. People talk a lot of shit on the fucking internet about LeBron's hair. I really don't think he gives a fuck. I feel like he's just like, fuck it. I'm going to prevent this bald as long as I can. I'm going to do all sorts of hair surgeries or, maneuvers or techniques or whatever the fuck he needs to do. He tried the headband shit. He took off the headband. Now he's back to, just straight leaving it out there. It's worked better for him. None of these hair problems with the hairline. He's not giving up, man. He's not giving up. And it's like people are like, yo, just shave your head. It's like a lot of people that are saying shave your head to him have had hairline surgeries. They've had all sorts of shit. Didn't work out for them. They're bald now, but they're saying shave your head. It's like at the end of the day, a man's going to do what a man wants to do. If he wants to hang on to his hair for as long as he wants to hang on to his hair, he's going to hang on to his hair. And a lot of people can't say otherwise because, shit, they're going to do it too. Like, it only makes sense to hang on to your hair and to keep your youthful look as long as you fucking possibly can. And if you have that type of money too, you have LeBron type of money, you're going to try. Because why not? The alternative is not being in the situation to try and wishing you could do something or wishing you had the capability to have the type of money to put yourself in the position to fix your shit, and you can't fix your shit because you don't got that type of money. So you're like, fuck, I wish I could fix my shit, and you're shitting on everybody else that could fix their shit, and they're trying to. Even if it's not successful, they're still trying to fix their shit. It's the effort, my nigga. Like, shit, sometimes you got to put up the fucking effort trying to save yourself out these streets. Like, fuck. Shit. LeBron's been battling his hair for what, 9 years? Jesus Christ. 9 years straight, like his finals. Well, he missed the playoffs last year. But his hair was blessed last year, so maybe it's that type of battle, It's like when you're a ball player, too, when you're playing ball and you're sweating your fucking hair out every day on live television and they're collecting screenshots of you from 12 different angles and you can't do anything on the court without being seen. It's like it's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard to cover that shit, but you'll keep on keeping on. All right, let's get to Tank's comments. This is a little late. It's about like a week old now since he said his comments. He was using an example for trying to say if you lie a couple of times, you're not really a liar. We understand that because the way life works is you live a long life. You're going to have to lie a few times in a couple of situations. Doesn't mean you're a liar. It doesn't mean you're consistently telling lies. It doesn't mean you are a liar. But not everything is created equally. And if you kill a person, you kill two people, it's not like telling two lies. You're a murderer. You killed two people. It's not, you can't compare them. They're not built on the same level. The same way Tank said, if you suck two dicks, you're not gay. That's different, because if you suck a dick, it's like, there was some sort of sexual attraction for you to even be in the situation to suck a dick. So it's like, there's gay intent behind that. I don't understand that whole comment. And people saying that if you disagree with Tank, you're homophobic. That's not. I don't understand how you're scared of gayness, because that's what homophobia is. You're scared of gayness. You're intolerant of gayness. If you believe that if someone sucks a dick, they're gay. I just don't understand. Like, how are you intolerant? Because, Jesus Christ. Sometimes having the conversation makes me stupider. Having the discussion, even entertaining certain discussions and debates, I feel dumb. I feel stupid. I feel dumbed down even entertaining the shit. It's like, why? Why put myself in that position? All right. Fuck, I gotta wrap this shit up, get out of here. I was gonna add to the GOAT list, but I feel like when I make the GOAT list, I should have longer, more compelling arguments. I said that last time, but yep, I'm gonna hold off on the GOAT list. R.I.P. to John Witherspoon. For me personally, I've always seen John Witherspoon and enjoyed his acting, enjoyed his roles, enjoyed everything he's done pretty much, whether it be from his role as Pops on the Wayans Bros, or Granddad on Boondocks, or anything he's been in, pretty much. His shit's funny as hell. His stand-up was funny as hell. His interview on Joe Rogan, funny as hell. I don't know how old he was when he passed, but I'm pretty sure that, he's enjoyed a pretty great full life. So R.I.P. John Witherspoon. I just feel for him and for his son, man, because they had that show, that series, that podcast, that they were going to start something. I'm not sure if they actually started it, but I remember them talking to Rogan, them doing something together, and that shit looked like it was going to be something hilarious. But yeah, man. R.I.P. Too much deaths this year. Like, fuck. Year's not even done. It's like, can we get through the year without another? All right, so before I close this shit, let's talk about a little bit of basketball. Lakers number 1 in the West, 5-1 record, best team in the not the league. Philly's still the best team in the league, undefeated. 5-0 right now. Without Joel Embiid, they won their last game. That shit was phenomenal. I feel like it's gonna be Philly and the Lakers in the finals, and that's gonna be a fucking tall ass finals. You're gonna have LeBron at point guard 6'9". You have Ben Simmons at point guard 6'10". What kind of fucking tall ass finals is this? You got fucking, Joel Embiid, Al Horford, versus like JaVale McGee and, Anthony Davis up front. Like, this is a fucking, I feel like that's the finals I want. That is not only the finals that I predict. That's the finals that I fucking want. That's the finals that I'm craving for right now. I want to see that shit. The Clippers are nice, of course, 5-2. Load management. Kawhi started very fucking early. I feel like there's like rules to this load management shit, but of course, like, apparently the Clippers got a bye and they did some shit or whatever, and they got a pass for his load management. It was listed as load management /knee, and they're going with the whole Raptors thing where Kawhi only played 60 some odd games and won a championship. They're sort of like, okay, that's the formula. Rest your star, blah blah blah. They're not winning another chip this year. You got healthy LeBron, healthy AD, and healthy LeBron. If that continues for the rest of the season into the playoffs, please fuck out of here. These guys are beasts. Both of them have a PER of 30 plus right now, and they're not even playing up to level. They're not even playing up to their normal standard. LeBron shooting 47% from the field. 48% from the field. Anthony Davis shooting 46%. Those aren't their field goal percentages. They're shooting way less. They're not as efficient as they usually are because they're warming up. They've been off for a while. And they're adapting to new play styles, and they're really still cutting ass. LeBron on the defense this year. I want to see somebody talk shit about LeBron's defense this year. Every fucking game he has a chase down block. He's rotating. He's not missing fucking assignments. Anthony Davis had a little hiccup in the first game defensively against the Clippers, but ever since that, he's been an absolute fucking beast. I think he was dealing with injuries during the Clippers game, like a hand injury or some shit, but Davis has been a beast again, so it's like it's going to be hard to beat the Lakers. I don't see any team in the West taking out the Lakers. Not in the regular season, not in the playoffs. I actually think the Lakers might finish the best record in the West because Clippers trying to do that load management shit. I don't think LeBron and AD trying to take many games off until like the later part of the season. I feel like they want that home court advantage. I feel like they want that top seed. Denver is pretty much disappointing me right now. I thought Denver was going to take another step, and their team is deep as shit. I thought they would kind of be like filling that Warriors role in the West and take everybody by surprise and have like one of the top 2 records, but they got to get it together. I feel like Jamal Murray needs to take another step. Jokic needs to continue to stay aggressive on the offense. I don't know, man. They just got to figure this shit out. The Raptors is still good. I had a discussion with King Clark on my podcast a few episodes ago, probably like 5-6 episodes ago, and we debated if Pascal Siakam was going to be an All-Star. And right now, I think I'm winning that debate. I think most NBA analysts go with the assumption that he will be an All-Star. He will be an All-Star team. He will be on an All-Star team. Let me see if I can pull up his stats right now. He's averaging 26 points per game on 48% shooting, 42% shooting from 3, 8 rebounds, 96% from the free throw line. I'm pretty sure that those type of ridiculous stats are not going to keep up. Those percentages at least. Well, that percentage, the free throw percentage, everything else could pretty much remain. Siakam is definitely an All-Star, especially in the East. Niggas is tripping if they don't think Pascal Siakam is going to be an All-Star this year. Tripping. And it's like, yeah, his game looked a little rough around the edges, but that's just his style of play. Like, it's pretty fluid. It's just different. It's a different type of style. It's not what you're used to aesthetically, but gets the job done. He's the best team. He's the best player in the Raptors right now, easily. So definitely think he's gonna make that All-Star team that people think that he's not gonna make. What else do we got here before we get out of here? The Rockets are kind of disappointing me. They kind of looked decent at first with Russell Westbrook getting a couple triple-doubles and still keeping that aggressiveness. James Harden was breaking it up, and we thought that would kind of end. But I don't know, man. The Rockets need to get it together. I don't know what's going on with the Rockets. I kind of anticipated that they'll be better than they are right now. But it's still early in the season, so I'm not going to get too crazy over the Rockets. I found KD's top 5 interesting. I found his refusal to talk about the top 5 interesting because he didn't really give his top 5. He gave more of a top 5 players that he likes to watch instead of a top 5 players. But even in the top 5 players he likes to watch, he didn't add Steph in. He didn't add Russ in. He left those 2 out. And it's like he added James Harden in there. For me, it's like you like the way Steph Curry played so much that you went and played with him. But I guess things are different when you actually play with someone that I guess I see the perspective too. It's like you can't really enjoy watching them play when you just left their fucking team and they're trash now. And Steph's injured, broke his hand. So it's like to leave Steph off that list is not that disrespectful. And Russ, he probably didn't like Russ's playing style. Probably agitated him over the years. I feel like Kevin Durant's very transparent in these interviews. I feel like there's not really much room to be like, oh, that's cap. Unless you're like looking at when he said he doesn't really care about who's the best and blah, blah, blah. I feel like because it's out of his control, he's not going to say that right now. He's not going to be debating who's the best if he's not able to play and show it. That's why has his answer. So it's not like that's cap. It's just reserved right now. Let me just chill, not talk shit because I'm injured. And that's real because why would you talk shit being injured? You can't really prove it. You can't debate it. It's kind of just like, I don't know. Jeez. All right, so let me get into a reaction video before I get the fuck out of here. I found this shit interesting. I don't know what this kid's name is. College kid. I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna find out more information about him after because I'm really trying to scout who's the best prospects in the draft. So I'm gonna take a look at this kid. I don't know if his game's well rounded, but these dunks are monstrous. So I'm gonna play this shit right now.
Percent from the field for Montana this half.
Look at Davis!
Yo, man's warming the man's life.
Oh my goodness!
Jeez.
Davis!
Looks like a short kid too. Nigga's not even that tall. Not even that like built and decent shit. And those ferocious fucking dunks. Those some strong ass fucking dunks. Niggas getting up there and banging it on these niggas. Pause. Jesus Christ. Alright, so Blunt Talk with LT episode 52. We gonna be right back at it. Yerp.